Yo, what's up, everybody? This is Kim Insight doing another Victory Sundays. And as we know on Victory Sundays, I could just talk about football, basketball, hockey, or even NASCAR. You never know what topic is doing, but what you just gonna know is that you're just gonna get the most raw and uncut filter in me, y'all, because I love sports. And y'all, speaking of sports, as y'all can see, I got my Miami Heat jersey on. Because if you've been living underneath a rock this last week, y'all seen it. Bam Adebayo had 83 points, which the Miami Heat beat the shit out of the Washington Wizards, 150 to 120 to 129, beat them by 21 points, y'all. So I just want to give my take, but also like with my analysis, like with some of the things I just kind of seen from what basketball players, because I just don't want to just give my take without listening to some of the experts. Because I was just wondering, like, yo, how do y'all feel about it? And so, like, I was looking at basketball players, look like, man, 83 points, that's just hard to get. It was like, yo, he went 36 from 43 from the free throw line and jacked up 40 shots. Like, it takes a lot of stamina just to do that. And I agree with that. Like the effort that it requires for him to get 83 points, it yeah, that's just pretty damn good. And the fact that like yo, like he had the ball out just to do all of that, like I agree with all those takes. Like they're saying, like as a basketball player, that stuff is hard and like that's impressive. But there's a but from my side because like I said, I respect basketball takes. I respect like what they said. The only thing that I want to say is like, yeah, she should have went for it. Like damn right. Like Eric Sports has said, like we get upset about teams tanking, or we got upset with Saquon Barkley not going for the rushing record, but we're not gonna get upset about Bam not going for it. I agree with that. Like I actually do agree with all those things. I actually agree how impressive like it was for him to get 83 points and stuff like that. But the only thing that throws me off, and it's the only thing, like Bam even said it, like I mean, well, Bam said like, yo, he had 70 points with 9 minutes left. Yeah, shit, go for it. But the thing of it is like he got his 83rd point when it was like 150 to 126. There was about 50 points with a minute and some change left. Like me as a coach, I'm like, yo, like they like with 9 minutes left, I'm like, all right, I give you like 5 more minutes. Hey, if you get close by that 4 minute mark, go for it. But it seems like, and that's just in my opinion, like at that point, it was just like I get you chasing the record, but it just seemed like at that sense, like it was becoming a little bit too. I mean, not necessarily too far fetched, but it was just a little bit harder to get, if that makes sense. So like that's the only thing I had an issue with, because like at that point, like what I think with 4 minutes left, the score was like 137 and 111 or something like that. They was up by 26, and he still had to get like, I think he had like 75 points at that point. So it was just that like at that point, like uh, you know what I'm saying? Like it would. That's the only thing I had an issue with. If y'all get what I'm saying, because in football, like, hey, running back, hey, you need 40 yards. We're gonna feed you, but if you don't get it by the end of the series, dog, it is what it is. And so that's just my take on it. That's the only issue I have with everything else about it. Like the basketball guys said, I'm gonna leave it up to the basketball guys. That shit was impressive. But on another note, y'all, like again, if you've been living underneath a rock, y'all, like y'all seen like the Ravens hit a renege on the Oakland, the Las Vegas Raiders with the Max Crosby deal. Like prior to shooting the video last week, I didn't know that Max Crosby gonna get traded to the Raiders. But then when I found out he got traded after the video, I was like, damn, I missed a good ass take. But I guess I got a good ass take now, because goddamn the Ravens reneged on him. Like they was just like, yo, the physical didn't come back good. They didn't think like his knee was going to not necessarily be ready for next week, because like he had his surgery, I believe, like the end of the season, like January, December or January. He was actually pissed off that they didn't let him play the last 2 games of the season and stuff like that, which was something to think about. But they said like he had a surgery on his meniscus or whatever, and like he was just getting off of crutches a week prior to that. But they was just like, yo, like it's not necessarily the fact that like they had an issue with him still healing from his knee surgery. They said they said like they don't think like after this year and like years going further, like he's gonna be worth that trade. Which when you trade 2 first round draft picks, I could honestly see that. But then it's just like it makes the Ravens look bad, but then it also, like, on another side, it devalues Max Crosby value at this current point, because like LaShawn McCoy said on the Speak Easy podcast, it's just like, yo, now people are thinking like, yo, he don't got a good knee, or he not gonna be worth nothing for a while. So like now, like, either he gonna have to play part of the season, or he gonna have to build, or he gonna have to do something to build that value back up for him to be worth at least a first round draft pick. But because now his trade value is now diminished, because they're saying like his knee is gonna be messed up like after another year or two, and like he might only have like one more good year, and he probably won't even get back until like damn near the start of the season. So there's a chance he might start on the PUP list. So it's just like it kind of messes him up right now. It messes up the Ravens' reputation, because teams might not want to do deals with them, and it messes up Max Crosby just because it diminishes trade value, and teams like, we skeptical about his health. And hell, it even messed up a little bit with the Raiders, because they was spending like crazy. Like they had a bad bitch with them or some shit, and so like they was just throwing money out. They was like, damn it, like Oprah, like, you get a car, you get a car, you get a car. Cause they was spending like crazy. They had top salary cap or cap space available. Now they still got a lot still even available with Max Crosby, but it's only in the top 10, but it's not as high as it was at first. But they was spending that shit like crazy. But on the last note, if you've been watching college basketball, as we all know, it's March Madness. Actually, Miami of Ohio, speaking of Miami, but this is another Miami, Ohio, who was undefeated going into the MAC tournament, lost in their first game. Now, this is my take on Miami, Ohio. I think, like, do they deserve to get in the tournament? Yes, but do I think they do are they valuable in the tournament? Nah. And the reason why is because, like, for one, like, when you look at it, their best win was against Akron, who is the second seed in the MAC tournament. But aside from that, like, they haven't played anybody. And then when you look at the teams that they beaten, some of their games been relatively close, particularly towards the end. Like, hell, like, I know they was playing against their rival. I forgot who they was playing against, Ohio, and they barely won that game. They won it in overtime. If you looked at the game, this shit was nip and tuck. And I'm like, yo, these are MAC schools, and you're struggling against. When you think about an undefeated team, you're thinking about teams that are at some point are dominating. But, and being honest with you, like, they had some really close games, and I get it. Like, teams are coming into the games with, with some energy, and they hyped up. But shit, like, yo, you're undefeated. Like, some of these teams are not even gonna get even in a conversation for going to the NCAA tournament, no less even in the NIT tournament, and y'all barely beating them. So what the hell is it that says, like, why does y'all be in the tournament? And I'm all for the mid majors. I love to see a Cinderella. I love to see the VCUs, the George Masons, the Butlers, the Florida Gulf Coast, the Dunk City, and that shit. I love seeing that. I liked it when Norfolk State beat Missouri. Like, that shit. That's what makes March Madness. But when I see a team that's struggling, that's to beat lower level teams, it's like, are they really that good? And like, that's my question. Is like, is Miami Ohio really that good? Because I mean, in this game, like, they was up by 11 points with 8 minutes 33 seconds left, but they couldn't put the nail in the coffin. And it seemed like that's what's been the case for them. Like, they be up, but then or like they just keep the games relatively close, and they can't just close the team out. And this time, the shit finally bit them in the ass. Pause. But yeah, basically just saying that. But yeah, that's just my three takes. As y'all know, this Victory Sunday, and this coming section, I'm out this bitch.